We were going through suffering, but God had been faithful to us. We owed him our faithfulness, and that was really the next step, and that was all we had left at that point.
The life change that we've had, the life change that I've seen come over our family, how I've been led to lead our family, it's just a new level of faith that you're putting into the Lord that he's going to provide.
Once we got married, we started attending church. We lived in Memphis. We had been going to church very regularly. And then we found out that we were pregnant with Rowan in October of 2018. Once Rowan was born, we were moving. We were living with my parents. There was just a lot going on. So we got out of church. And Rowan was 18 months old in December of 2020. And we made the decision that we were going to start attending church because that's what we wanted for our family and our kids. So we made the decision to visit 901, and that's what we made home.
We went ahead and decided we loved it. We wanted to get involved, and so we just dove in as fast as we could.
Cody pretty much joined a small group, I would say probably a month into it.
Yeah, so I had a guy from my group currently. He invited me to men's group that was going on, ended up going, and that went from that time, ever since we've been there. We've just continued to do that, and then Seth joined a women's group as well.
At the time, we were getting involved. We were doing what we felt was all the right things. We were attending church every single Sunday. We were both involved in groups. We were serving. We literally felt like we were at a place where we were doing everything right. And in that period of time, Cody and I actually faced, I would say, probably one of the hardest things we've ever had to face. And on February 15th, I went to the doctor's appointment to check on our baby, and we got news that we didn't expect. There was no detectable heartbeat, and I was sent home kind of like, it's kind of a waiting game. At this point, you go home and you just wait. And that was on a Monday, and then it was Thursday. Thursday was the day that everything changed, so.
Yeah, so I get a text, hey, come home, something's not right. And so went home, we were there as a family, and just me comforting something that I, couldn't possibly feel physically, but, watching your wife go through something like that is kind of hard to explain, but just trying to, speak truth and not be angry, and just figure out, just how we were going to move forward, from that point.
I would say that we were at a point where we were talking about tithing, and that was in our discussions, but we honestly, looking, didn't know where this was going to come from. Like, where in our budget was this going to fit in? How were we going to make this work? And all of this, was really talks and thoughts previous to what we had just gone through and our suffering. But at this point, we realized that, we were going through suffering, but God had been faithful to us. He had put us in a place. He had given us 901. He had given us these groups and these people and surrounded us before we even realized that we needed these people. I mean, we had a support system that was unexplainable. We felt like that's what we owed him. We owed him our faithfulness, and that was really the next step, and that was all we had left at that point. Like, what do we do now? We're doing everything else, so we've got to start, pouring back into God and giving him what he's given us.
3 weeks after we found that out, we started tithing. And the life change that we've had, the life change that I've seen come over our family, how I've been led to lead our family, it's just a new level of faith that, that you're putting into the Lord that he's going to provide. And so just seeing that, and just his faithfulness, and I guess it goes full circle because now we're expecting a son at the end of January. So it's a good thing.
With our story, I stumbled across 1 Peter 4:19, and Peter's talking about how when we go through some suffering that is of God's will, that we are, as believers, we're still called to be faithful to Him and to still do good. And so I think that pretty much sums up where we were at, and that we were going through suffering, but we knew that our hearts were right and that we were definitely being called to be faithful in that moment.
I'm Cody.
I'm Cesalee.
And this is our giving story.